People of YouTube, F-Man Critic back, and we're still in December, and I haven't made any Christmas reviews until now, and I'm now doing a redo review to celebrate its 25th year anniversary, and that is the Jim Carrey How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Now, I know I did this movie a couple of years back, and we all remember the first time I did it. It was one of my old reviews. It was shit. And it was filmed in my own kitchen, and I was doing it on a phone. I was showing the pictures on the phone. But now, how has the channel gotten bigger? Let's redo How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's the classic 2000s film starring Jim Carrey as the hairy, green, mean one that he is. And it wouldn't be the last time that Jim Carrey does a Dr. Seuss movie. And although some people may love it, some people say it's a classic with its jokes and its humor, or some may hate it for, again, its jokes and its humor, because the original Grinch movie, it doesn't need any improvements. It's the animated one. It's quite the... I couldn't do the rhyme. I was trying to rhyme then like the damn thing does, but I couldn't. Anyway, look, the original Grinch movie, it'll always be a classic. You can always rewatch it, and people will always love it and remember it as the classic that it is. But the Jim Carrey version, we all love this version, and even I do. The Whoville, granted, the Who's in Whoville, they may look terrifying, they may look scary, they may be mean-spirited jerks that go to the Grinch's lair and harasses him, but thankfully the Grinch is always one step ahead of him, and he's got one quite the security there, and how much he really doesn't like him, and how I did point out how the Who's look terrifying. The makeup on Jim Carrey is quite, I want to say terrifying, but he doesn't. Compared to the Who's, he's not terrifying. He actually does look like from the actual special. He's all like according to filmmakers and other people, that Jim Carrey, when he was doing this film, he was suffering in that makeup. He was suffering in like it was painful for him to constantly keep going through getting that makeup on him. So much so that someone from the freaking FBI or CIA, I think, had to train him on how to basically cover himself and how to stay calm. And basically it also explains how Jim Carrey is, extra Carrey in this movie, if you know what I mean. Hell, I even heard that the director of this movie, Ron Howard, I believe that as a way of appreciating Jim Carrey for constantly keeping his cool with being in that makeup, he actually decided to wear the costume, wear the makeup and everything on the last day of filming as a way of thank you. But then Jim Carrey got mad at him, and I honestly would love to see how that situation went out. And the narrator of this movie is narrated by Hannibal Lecter, of all people. Oh, hey, so long as he doesn't want to eat my liver with fava beans and nice Chianti, I'm happy. And yeah, but outside of the Who's being terrifying and Jim Carrey looking damn good in the makeup, we see one Who named Cindy Lou who is not two in this. And she's basically wondering why is everyone so cabothal of everyone in Whoville? Because everyone in Whoville, they're all so crazy about Christmas. Everyone's all insane to spend and get presents and go crazy with the holiday. I love Christmas as much as the next one, but they do really go overboard with Christmas. And Cindy's the only one who seems to be down. And when her big brothers come down complaining about the Grinch, the Grinch, because he wants some social interaction, and he basically disguises himself. And when those teenage boys come down, I'm wondering, telling everyone what happened to them, everyone in town just doesn't like to talk about him. Everyone's just kind of prejudiced with him, especially the mayor of this movie. Now, the mayor of the movie, who is clearly the villain of the film, what do I have to say about him?
He's an asshole.
Exactly, but we'll get more back onto him. But as for Cindy Lou, she does want to know why does the Grinch hate Christmas, and why does everyone don't like him? But during when her dad takes her to the post office, and when she actually gets to meet the Grinch, I'm sorry, let Cindy take this.
You're the Grinch.
But after terrifying Cindy and saving her life and wrapping her up for her dad to find, and she goes back to her home, and we get introduced to her mother, who's basically like, she's her end goal in the movie. She wants to put up a pretty light display bigger than Martha May. And who is Martha May? Well, outside of Cindy Lou, she's the only one of the Who's who doesn't look freaky. Yeah, because she's trying to go for that sexy look for the film, because apparently sex sells, even for movies that are aimed towards kids. But whatever. And like, yeah, and after encountering the Grinch, Cindy wonders why her world is changing, that she tells through a song. And then we go back to the Grinch, who we now know how he lives. Hey, come on, I'm trying here with the rhymes, guys, come on. And we see his cave full of amazing look. Okay, his cave looks great. He takes all the junk that's dumped from the Who's, takes them back to his cave, and he makes one hell of a Grinch cave that looks really damn cool. But we also see that his life is really sad. He's got no one to talk to other than his dog and an echo.
I'm an idiot! You're an idiot!
It's really sad, honestly, to see him like this. He hates the Who's hate him, and he hates Christmas. It's just really sad, and you just feel sorry for the poor green guy. He's alone, he's sad, it's just, again. But why does he live like this, you may ask? So Cindy goes to door, asking the Who's who actually know him, and before she was born. Again, I'm trying with the rhymes here, guys, come on. We get introduced to his adoptive mothers. Apparently this is the very first Dr. Seuss movie that actually has LGBT representation. Good on this movie, and since it was released in the early 2000s, again, good for this movie. And they were like the very first people who actually loved and welcomed him. And apparently we get revealed that like when Who's reproduce, their babies are like coming down in like some kind of umbrella basket. So, and that raises so many questions, that does. So it's like, are hurricanes like birth control or abortions? Because that raises so many damn questions. And great, thanks to this movie, I get the image of the Who's doing it.
Hey, honey, our baby's here. He looks just like your boss.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks, movie. Thanks for putting that image in my head. And apparently, again, this movie, it does have a fair share of, a lot of adult jokes in this movie due to studio interference. And by the way, that is so, who the hell needs adult jokes in a Dr. Seuss movie? I mean, I'm down for a dirty joke or two.
Well, you know what they say. Born under Venus, look for a... Hello?
But, there's only, so many times you can put dirty jokes in kids' media before you go, is this really meant for kids? Whatever, we're getting off track here. And so, as the Grinch is a baby, he ended up getting adopted by two mothers who cared for him and loved him, and then actually got him, and understood him and stuff, tried to understand what he was, but still loved and cared for him. Alright? Right? And as he got as a kid, as an adult, he hates Christmas, but as a kid, he was just more, disgusted by it. And just, even as a kid, he was a little shit, but he was an alright kid. And he actually liked one of the Who's, which was a young Martha May, who actually cared for him. But sadly, though, earlier as I pointed out about the mayor being an asshole, even as a kid, he was an asshole. Because, when the Grinch and the Martha ended liking each other, the mayor decided to put him down.
You don't have a chance with her. You're 8 years old and you have a beard.
Says you, man boobs. You're 8 years old and you got tits like a 4-year-old woman. I guess we all have differences, mate. And, he's always putting the Grinch down. He doesn't like him. Prejudice much, which I fucking hate this character. And when it was Christmas, he decided to make a gift for Martha, and it was actually very thoughtful. But he gets insecure because he's 8 years old and apparently he has a beard. Well, hey, come on, buddy. Just because you have a beard doesn't mean she gets insecure. Martha likes you just the way you are. She pointed out earlier in the movie. Even as a kid, she was trying to be all a sex symbol. What the hell, movie? But whatever. She likes you the way you are, dude. But that doesn't stop the Grinch. He ends up shaving himself and humiliating himself, and the kids, and even the fucking teacher laughs at him. Like, what the hell? Oh, and the Grinch rightfully crashes out and hates Christmas on honestly a very heartbreaking scene. Like, I pointed out in the original review that, like, the Grinch, when he's yelling, saying he hates Christmas, running away, it was a heartbreaking scene. Still is to this day. And it's just like, I mean, great acting from the actor who plays young Grinch, and like, it's just so, like, damn, just heartbreaking, and understands why he hates Christmas, why he hates the Who's. It's just all just heartbreaking, isn't it? And it also makes me wonder, when the Grinch left and lived on Mount Crumpet, you're telling me his adopted mothers never went looking for him? Even Martha May, like, the town, I can understand because they're all dicks, but, but his adopted mothers, you're telling me none of them ever went for a search party for him? And not even Martha May, the only who that actually liked him in his class? But whatever, he grows up and he hates the Who's alphabetically. And during one of the Christmas celebrations, they need a Christmas cheermeister, and Cindy Lou, who announces that nominates him as the Grinch. And the mayor, being an asshole as he is he doesn't want the Grinch to be a cheermeister. Like, what is your deal, buddy? Like, the whole stuff with you and you two were kids, okay? Like, it's been years now. I know he doesn't like you guys, and he comes to you guys every now and then just to fuck with you, righteously so. Oh, but, like, still, you two were kids. You're still being an asshole to him? Like, come on. But whatever, Cindy goes to the Grinch, and she tells him that he's been in a cheermeister. And the Grinch, well, like I said, Jim Carrey in this movie, he's being Jim Carrey. But hey, like I said before, after all the emotional trauma he went through as a kid and now as an adult, can you really blame the poor guy? I'm acting weird. He's gonna act strange. Might as well just let it happen. And like, at first he rejects the whole old Schermeister thing, and even kindly shows Cindy the door. Trapdoor, may I add you? And, well, he actually thinks of going. He goes through this entire whole thing like, I don't want to go. I want to go. I don't want to go. I want to go. Oh, and honestly, in my opinion, we get, honestly, my favorite scene of the movie. You want to know why that's my favorite scene in the movie? Because that scene was 100% improvised. Like, the whole, like Jim Carrey, he was supposed to not give a crap. He was not supposed to do what he did. His part was just to take the cloth off the thing, and the director, Ron Howard, didn't care if the things came off or not. And, like, when Jim Carrey perfectly ripped that off, he decided to just go all, well, like that. That was 100% improvised by Jim Carrey. Awesome stuff, may I add you, that is. That's why that's my favorite scene. And he ends up killing a Who yodeler for his outfit, and Max sends him to the holiday celebration. And like I said earlier with the dirty jokes, we get another one. Like, seriously, who thought of these? I know, studio interference, but come on. At first, the Grinch hated it at first, and just didn't want to be there. But after one montage, he ends up enjoying himself and actually really has some fun. And he actually starts getting a bit of the holiday, and honestly, I'm rooting for him. But like always, the mayor had to be a prejudiced dick to him, and by giving him his present, and that is a razor for a Christmas shave.
Oh, that motherfucker.
And sadly, that's not the worst of it. He ends up proposing to Martha in the Grinch's horror, and even offers her a new car, or paid by the taxpayers of Whoville. Like, seriously? Earlier in the movie where we saw the Who's celebrating for Christmas, getting all crazy for the holiday, apparently there is commentary in this movie about it, and delivered us by the man in green.
You see what I'm saying? In your garbage! I could hang myself with all the bad Christmas neckties I found at the dump. I want golf clubs, I want diamonds, I want a pony so I can ride it twice, get bored, and sell it to make glue.
And he does make a good point. And we get a pretty good line from Jim Carrey again.
Mistletoe. Now pucker up and kiss it, Who Bill!
It wouldn't be the first time Jim Carrey would talk from his ass.
Excuse me. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
And once again, history repeats itself. The Grinch gets mad and righteously crashes out. But unlike last time where he tosses the tree and says he hates Christmas, here he drinks whiskey, it disintegrates their tree. Like, holy shit, man! And like, the chaos doesn't end there. We get this joke that we all remember. And honestly, it never gets old.
Taxi! It's because I'm green, isn't it?
Best joke in the movie, that is. And that's not the end of the chaos, because if you thought up the tree burning was insane, hey, take a look at this scene.
It's gonna blow!
Like, who the hell thought there should be an explosion in the Grinch? Maybe Michael Bay, but whatever. Like, seriously. But in all honesty, like, although this movie does spit in the face of Dr. Seuss, okay, and his work, we still love this movie. We still love the stuff, the craziness, the action, but like, it's still crazy to point it out, though. Oh, and the Who's are all depressed. Yes, but the mayor has a backup tree. They are relentless, as the Grinch said. And as he realizes of how they're just gonna, like, replace the tree and get on with their Christmas, he remembers all the joy that they bring with all the noise. And they start doing scenes from the book, where the Grinch starts putting on his red suit, dressing up like Santa Claus. I wasn't playing, you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. And yeah, it's pretty much what happens in the movie. And it actually starts acting like from the book and from the special where he takes all the stuff from the Who's and like it does actually take a massive page from the Grinch. It actually was entertaining and fun. And he ends up burglarizing the house, but Cindy Lou Who sees him. Well, she thinks it's Santa Claus, obviously. And they talk for a bit, and Cindy Lou, who, despite what the Grinch did, she still like sees good in him and asks Santa to watch out for the Grinch.
Nice kid. Bad judge of character.
Yeah, you're right, Grinch. And he ends up taking the ring out of Martha May, and we get to one of the infamous scenes in the movie. Like, we all thought the explosion, the adult jokes, everything was bad. Well, personally, people will certainly say this scene's quite bad. The scene where the Grinch gets revenge on the mayor. I mean, granted, the guy deserves what he's getting, but this goes too far.
But it's an experience that I've always longed for. Kiss me, you fool!
You've got to be shitting me.
That's disgusting.
Oh god, that part's the worst. Like, seriously, people will trash on this movie and say all the adult jokes, everything that happened in this movie is a massive spit in the face in Dr. Seuss. But I think everyone who does love this movie can agree that the dog ass kissing scene is the worst part. It is the worst part. And the Grinch, feeling like he accomplished his mission, looks up and sees the destruction he caused. Hey, I'm trying with the rhyming here, guys. Come on. And all the Who's wondering what the hell just happened. And this prank that the Grinch does to the mayor, although it's not as infamous as the dog kissing, I will certainly say this though, prick deserved it. What the Grinch does to the mayor in this scene. At least it's not as gross as the dog ass kissing scene. So, and the mayor being a massive baby about all this. And calls out Cindy. He's saying, "Oh, you decided to take advice from a little girl." Oh, Cindy's dad, Lou, he decides to actually stand up for his child and say, "It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he took our presents, because it's not about the gifts. It's about family, being together." And again, people do honestly keep saying that in the original, the Who's didn't care because Christmas, it means a little bit more than coming from a store. But to be fair, in this movie, that where we got established earlier about the Who's being commercial to the max, it is kind of fine. I'm seeing the Who's actually learn that Christmas doesn't come from gifts or a store or food or anything. It comes from family. And again, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. I think it's a decent message out there. And the Grinch wondering, like, why aren't they all crying? And he does finally learn that Christmas means a little bit more, and his heart finally grows 3 sizes that time. I bet you were 20. He's got 6 more months to live for that. And eventually he has a change of heart, figuratively and literally. Again, like, growing your heart, that shit ain't normal. He's got to see a doctor. And Cindy Lou managed to make it all the way to the mountain and seeing in the Grinch, and he gets the inspiration to lift up the sleigh, and it's pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie. I seen him, lift the sleigh because the one Who that actually cared about him and gave him a chance is in danger. It was honestly sweet. And eventually the Grinch returned all the gifts, and he is sorry. The mayor wants him arrested and even pepper sprayed. But the police is all like, he returned everything. He said he's sorry. I guess the rules in this world means that, hey, if you return something you've stolen, it's fine and all cool. Jesus. Whatever. He said he's sorry. Whatever. And as for Martha May, she rejects the mayor's proposal. Well, serves you right. To the mayor I say,
Suck it.
but at the same time, cheer up, dude. It's Christmas. Yes. And all the Who's, including the Grinch, hold hands and sing together, and the Grinch gets together with Martha May. Those two really do belong to each other, even if it is weird that they're two different. But whatever. And he even gets to carve of the rare roast beef. And that's the movie. And yeah, at 25 years later, still a fun movie. It may have mixed reviews, it may have mixed fans, but for me personally, I see it as a Christmas classic. Okay, I mean, Jim Carrey, that dude's awesome. There's no doubt about it. And sure, it does take a lot of leaps with adult jokes, and the mayor is just a massive prick, but who cares? As it all works out in the end. Despite being a spit in the face to Dr. Seuss, it's still a classic. It's still there, it still has its fun, and it doesn't technically trash the original because the original is still there to watch. You can still watch the original Grinch and be a fan of both. It doesn't matter, of any of this. And yeah. And it was perfect casting to get Jim Carrey as the Grinch, okay? Makeup and everything. Even if the Who's look terrifying and honestly mean-spirited, the one who does save the movie is Jim Carrey. And yeah, and that's the How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Great film. Classic, and 25 more years of the movie. Even if there are rumors out there saying it's getting a sequel, which I hope not. And yeah, this is the F-Man Critic telling you to like, subscribe, hit notification. I'll see you all next time.